I bought the 3 quick connection setup. One will go on the machine, the one on the machine in bad shape. It actually leaked a couple times in the past and I have to tap it with the hammer to stop the leak. So I'm going to replace them. And I'll install one on the Auger and I'll have one as a spare. I'm going to use this fitting to connect the quick connection directly on the machine and minimize that stubby hose. And I'm going to install these hoses. This is the high pressure, it's 1/2 inch hydraulic hose. And the return line is a 3/4. I also bought this foot pedal. It's made of aluminum. It seems to be weatherproof. They have rubber gasket over here on the cover. And I'm going to install female like this one. And I will put label on it so nobody plug anything to it. And I'll be able to hide this in the shipping container when not in use. This is what operates the Auger or deliver hydraulic to the Auger. Originally, it used to have this one, which is in bad shape. I thought about replacing the micro switch and free it up. However, this was cheap enough. I believe I paid $18 from eBay. I'm also going to add this thrust washer to the swing tower. In the past, and I have video showing the process, I had to repair the swing tower. The pin was wore out. I made a new one and I made shim to adjust the height of the tower to make the 2 hydraulic cylinders that swing the tower fit perfectly or in the middle. On John Deere website, it showed to only use one. And I actually, one time I went to John Deere dealer, they told me that this machine will only use 1 thrust washer. Recently, I saw a machine just like this one, and the guy who bought it, he's the first owner. He never messed with the tower, and that tower had 2. One on the bottom and one on top. And the 2 thrust washers, they rub on each other. I also have a comment from Mr. Frank. He said his machine has 2 thrust washers. I thought originally it should have 2 because it didn't make sense why 1 washer go on the tower and this may damage the tower eventually. But at the same time, when you have a friction type of washer, they usually use 2 different hardness material. Sometimes they use one out of brass and one out of steel, or one hardened steel and one soft steel. So I didn't push the subject. I went ahead and just installed that one. But I went ahead and bought another one, so I'm going to remove one of the shim and install this one. I'm not going to show this process because I already did in the past. I will link to that video at the end of this one. If you're interested, please watch it. I took the screenshot from John Deere website to show you 1 thrust washer is being used according to the catalog for each serial number of this machine. I repaired these 2 brackets. They welded them in the past and the weld was bad. This one actually was flopping around. I grounded the old weld and welded it, and I welded the other side and painted them. I'm going to use this connection to go right here, and then the quick connector will go directly on them to minimize this stubby. I also repaired a 12-inch bucket that I have, and I'm going to use it to trench, and this will be in separate video. And I decided after I removed the 24-inch bucket to go ahead and clean this area, lubricate it and all that, and I'm going to replace the clips that go on this pin. They're in bad shape, and I'm going to get new washers. The way this foot pedal works, you plug this to the wall, and then you plug the machine or light or whatever, let us call it the load, and then you could activate it, and then you have to press it again to deactivate it. There is a toggle switch over here, and these 2 wires, disregard their color. They have a black and white over here, they just connected to the hot side. This over here is the hot side. I have my multimeter set to ring on a closed circuit. Stay on, stay off. The neutral, it's shorted over here. It will have a neutral all the time. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this part. I don't want this to be plugged into the wall. This only going to be used with the backhoe. And the way I'm going to wire it, I will wire the male end to this, and I will connect these two wires that comes from the switch to the neutral and to the ground. So even if somebody come accidentally plug it to the wall, it's not going to do anything, because the neutral and the ground, they connected together at the circuit breaker of the house. And this will be safe. I will leave the hot side not connected to anything. And the female, I will wire it to the two wires that come from the backhoe circuit to activate the auxiliary switch. And I also will wire these two wires to the neutral and to the ground. Here in United States, we use this plug or this female plug. The wider one is the neutral and this one is the ground. And also on the back side, usually the hot side, they have it made of brass, golden in color, and the neutral is the chrome. The ground is the green. So I'm going to connect the two wires in the machine to the chrome, and this connected to the wider terminal, and the other wire I will connect it to the ground. The ground of this part, the green wire, it's not going to be connected to anything. Actually, I don't need it this long. Probably that much is enough. I will save this. I may use it for something else. And this, very well made. Everything is tied. They soldered all the wires to the micro switch, and they put shrink tube on them, and it has a good rubber gasket. I will keep this in the shipping container. I'm only going to plug it to the machine when I want to use it, so it doesn't get damaged from the weather. They sell some of these. They have momentarily micro switch. You could press to activate, and you have to keep pressing it. And then when you let go, it will stop. It's probably safer. My backhoe, it has a switch. It has to be in the off position when you fire the machine, and then you have to turn it to foot pedal, or you have to turn it to continuous. At the time when I bought this one, I couldn't find anything that has momentarily micro switch. I have some, and I could switch the micro switch in the future if I don't like the operation of this. And like I said, it's probably safer if you have a momentary switch. You have to keep pressing it to keep the auger spinning. But for now, this should be fine. It will do the job. Like I said, I'm going to disregard the green wire or the ground. These terminals or these plugs, they way better than anything you buy for car. And they cheap, and you could buy them at any hardware store. You are running the risk of somebody plug it accidentally to the wall. However, everybody around here is educated, so they're not going to do that. And if you do a similar thing, make sure you inform your family or friends or whoever operate the machine about what you're doing. And if you sell the machine, do the same thing. Okay, this is same thing. The chrome is the neutral and the green is the ground. I'm going to leave the hot wire or the brass and connect it. And really it doesn't matter because these wires, they just connected to a switch. So none of them is hot or neutral for this because this is not a load, it's just a switch. And normally you connect the white to the chrome and the green to the green and the black to the brass. This doesn't apply for this. I had to repair the auxiliary valve to get the auger operational. I'm going to post that in separate video. So please watch it if you are interested. Those valves are very expensive. The actual solenoid, the coil and the snout or the valve itself, it's about $1,500 from John Deere website. I couldn't find it on eBay. I shopped for one. Luckily, I was able to disassemble the snout and fix it. I connected the white to the green, the black to chrome. Make sure you don't connect anything to the hot wire, because if you plug this to the wall and activate it, it's going to cause a closed circuit. It may blow the circuit breaker or the fuse, or it may cause damage. So make sure you don't connect anything to the golden terminal or the brass. As you see, it doesn't do anything. Make sure you connect it to the neutral and verify this is the neutral, and connect the other one to the ground. I care about your safety. I don't want you to do anything to get hurt or cause any damage to your shop, equipment, or wiring. If you worry about doing something like this, they sell trailer connectors. They have male and female, and they plug in like this. They small. But like I said, from my experience, this is way better. And it doesn't go bad as the other one or as fast as the other one. And it carry higher current. This one is done. I'm going to take the camera and show you how to plug this one to the machine. This over here, what was connected to the original foot pedal. And same thing, I'll connect one to the chrome. I will leave the brass or golden unconnected, and I'll connect the other one to the green. Now, if you want, you could splice these wires directly to the foot pedal. It's up to you. The only reason I'm doing it this way, so I could store the pedal in the shipping container when not in use. One wire connected here to the neutral, the wider leg, and the other one to the ground. And these, they have a male that go into a female notch. If you have similar machine, make sure the switch in the control panel in the off position first. Even after you run the machine, make sure the switch in the off position, and then turn it to foot pedal or continuous for the solenoid to work. They have relay circuit as a safety measure to prevent the auger, or if you have hammer, from working right when you start the machine. They need to make sure you have it on off, and then you activate it. So if you have similar thing and it doesn't work, make sure to test that first. While I was troubleshooting the valve, I discovered that I removed the control panel, and I checked the relay, and I traced how the wire go, and it fed from the ignition. And I'll probably make a drawing, or I may explain it in the future. In the future, I'm planning to redo the control panel, and I will show you that. I have the auxiliary hydraulic valve switch in the off position. I'm going to start the machine, then I will switch it to foot pedal, then I will connect the foot pedal, and we try it out. For your own safety, always stay away from any type of auger. It worked like it should. And like I said, when this is spin, especially if the auger connected to it, it will cause a safety hazard, so always stay away from it. Make sure you don't run it if there is co-worker around you or anybody in a close proximity. Now I will connect one of the auger and we'll try it out. When I bought the backhoe, I got 3 augers with the hydraulic motor. I have to repair them. They're missing teeth and they're also missing the starter bit. All 3 of them. Some augers, they have these carbide to cut into concrete and rock, and some they have these dirt teeth. They're very easy to come out. I researched this on the internet. The kind I have, they use rubber. This is a small piece of rubber, and this will wedge the teeth into the auger. Some of them in bad shape. So what I thought about doing, I thought about manufacturing teeth out of leaf spring. And this material is great. It has some anti-abrasive property. It will last longer than if you just use mild steel. I also thought about manufacturing the starter bit. I have some pictures and I took some measurement. However, I looked them on eBay and I got good deal on them. I bought these. They have the rubber to hold them in place. But like I said, the place where these go, it's not very tight, and this is poor design. I'm going to add weld at 4 corners to hold this in place, and I'm only going to use them with dirt. I have a clay over here, most of the property, so this will be great. And I bought 3 starter bits. The way I was able to build these, some of them they just pulled off. Some of them I had to use the chisel from the corner and couple it with the hammer and they came off. Yeah, these, they were installed this way. And I just used the chisel and I hit it and they came off. These hardened steel, they're brittle, so when you use a hammer to beat them down, try to use piece of wood. Also wear safety glasses just in case they shatter. And I cleaned all this area. I hit the inside with wire brush, and now I'm ready to install all the new stuff. I welded everything and I painted. It's solid. I also put my last name on all these. This is hard clay. It's working good. Thank you for watching.